The question I get asked the most is, do I need a laser level for installing an Ikea kitchen? And the answer to that is no, not necessarily, but I can highly recommend getting one, because in this video I'm going to show you 7 tasks where the laser level will make the installation so much easier. And not only that, I will also present to you 2 cheaper options to the more established brands in laser levels. So keep watching and you might be inspired to go get one. If you need a reason for buying a laser level, I have 7 of them for you. This is the 7 tasks for which I use my laser level when I'm installing Ikea kitchens. The first one is when I'm assessing the ceiling in the room where I'm installing the kitchen. And that might be done very early on in the process when I'm creating the layout plan for the clients. But the laser is an absolutely perfect tool for doing so, because it's a very easy way to find out if the ceiling is sagging. And that is important to know. Check my rail videos and you will know what I'm talking about. And also checking the floor. It's done in pretty much the same way, that you put up a line and you measure, and then you can see how horizontal your floor is, and then you can see where you want to use, which point in the room you want to use as a baseline for putting up the cabinets. And clearly also I use it for hanging the rails. When we put the rails up on the wall, I put up my laser and I hang the rails with help of that line that I'm creating. Another task I'm using my laser level for is when I'm leveling the base cabinets. I have a video showing how to do just that as well, and it's very easy, but it's the laser level makes the difference. You can level a whole kitchen in 3 minutes. And then I use it for when I'm lining up cabinets. If we have upper and base cabinet that have to sit exactly above each other on a line, you can use a spiral level for that as well. But since I have the laser level set up in the room, I just put that line up and I use it for that. And I can also use it if I have to find the center of a window and have a line going down to where I want to have the base cabinet sitting. Much easier just to put that line up, and then you know where the base cabinet is going. 2 other things I use it for is when I'm cutting the holes in the back of the cabinet if I have an electrical outlet. I have a video showing that too, and the laser is absolutely great for that purpose. And the final task where I use my laser is if I have to cut a bulkhead. And I can put up the laser level and then I simply cut where I want that cut to be. That's where I put the laser, and then I cut so I don't have to draw a line on the bulkhead. So I can just come with my oscillating tool and I can just cut away. So that's the 7 tasks for which I use my laser level. I have been using my Dewalt laser for a number of years now, and I'm very happy with it. But when I look online, I can see there's a whole bunch of new lasers coming out, and it seems like they can do a lot of things that this one cannot do. But do I need it? I don't know. And that's what we're about to find out, because I have got my hands on a Huepar S04CG, it's called. Don't know what it means. And this one is a Cigman CM701, and we will see what they can do and compare to this one. Safety. I have to say a little bit about safety, because there is a reason you cannot get a laser pointer that's green, you use for presentations or whatever you use it for. And that's because the green laser light is more damaging to the eyes than the red one. So whenever you work with lasers, I recommend using a pair of those. Not only are you protecting your eyes, but your street credit goes up a few notches. I can guarantee it. Enough said. So before we get started, I'm going to tell you that I did not purchase these lasers myself. Cigman and Huepar, they offered them to me so I could make a video like this one. And I have to say though that if you decide to buy one of these and you use the link in the description to this video, I will get a small fee, but it's not very big, it's not going to change much, and it's certainly not going to change the price you're paying. So thank you for considering doing that if you decide to buy one of these. Now, let's get to the lasers. I think the good place to start is to see what's in the box for the 3 laser levels when you buy them. And why don't we start with the Dewalt? I just need to figure out how to open it. This one. There you go. So this one comes in a box that fits the Dewalt stack system, and that can be convenient if you have some of those already. I have a few, but I don't like them that much because they're difficult to connect. But nevertheless, it comes in a very sturdy box, so it will protect the laser, which is important. What's in the box is safety glasses. Dewalt is the only company of these 3 that are providing safety glasses. Then we have the laser itself. It came also with the battery, and the reason I bought this particular model is because this is the 12-volt battery, and this battery fits my small drill, so I can share batteries between them, and I find that very convenient. It also comes with a charger if you buy the full kit. I do not have the charger here, but you know what I mean. And then it comes with this target, and this target is actually very practical when you are leveling your cabinets, because it has a small magnet at the bottom, so you can put that on the top of the base cabinets on the metal rail, and then you can adjust the leg until you can see it hits where you have made your baseline. And so I like that one. In my video where I show how to level the base cabinet, I'm using a piece of scrap wood, and that is as good, but this one is just right here when I have it. And then it comes with one of those, and I have to be honest, I'm not quite certain what it is. I do know that it has holes for screws right here, so you can screw it onto a wall, a stud right here, and then you can take this, because it's magnetic, this base. These 2 parts cannot come apart, so it sits like this, and then it has a very strong magnet. And if this is screwed to the wall, that's where your level is sitting. I don't use that because I need to move my my level up and down, but I can see it can be convenient if you are working half a day putting up strips or studs or whatever you are. I'm not sure about this one, but I think it's for when you're working with metal studs, some sort that you can clip it in there. I don't know, and I don't miss it. So this one, for me, stays in the toolbox. I never use that one. So we can put it right back there. So that is what is included with the level from Dewalt, the one I have. Now, let's look at the one from Huepar, and this is the S04CG. And we open up, and as you can see, they're much more generous. There's a lot in this box, and let's start with the laser itself. We have it right here. We'll put that right there, so you can see that as well. And then we have some batteries. But the thing is with this Huepar S04CG is that it can be powered in a number of ways. It has a built-in battery that is replaceable, but it's still sitting inside. It's rechargeable, and I can actually show it to you. See, we can open it up. I think we can right there, and no, boom, out comes the battery, and it can be charged in place. Actually, there is no charger that will allow it to be charged outside the laser level, but that's fine because the laser level has an opening right there. If I can open it up, it's like a little waterproof thing. So it's a USB-C, and of course the laser comes with a USB-C cable and a charger, so you can charge it. However, if you're really old school and USB-C is not your thing, it comes with a pack of batteries and a battery holder. I don't know if it's an emergency kit. If you forget to charge your laser before you left home, now you have an emergency kit right there. This one also comes with a remote control. And why do we need that? Well, I'll get to that in a second, but let's just say it comes in handy. Then this one also comes with a target, just like the Dewalt. It has a magnet as well, and it also has a little foot, so actually you can put it up on something and it'll be standing. I would not use that in that way because I need this to be magnetic, so it sits on top of my base cabinet. And it doesn't matter that the numbers are upside down. We are clever people. We can still read them. This one is a metal plate which you can screw up on a stud or a wall or something, just like the Dewalt one. And then this one is magnetic too. But where is it? This one. This is the laser holder. This one has a magnet. So you can screw that plate up on the stud or up on the wall and then put this one on. Oh, you can also take this one and hang on a screw or a nail if you want. And before we get to this one, I just want to mention this little fella. This is a little platform on which you can put your laser. It's not magnetic, and I cannot see when I would like to use this, but there's something about it. So you can put your laser on and then you can lift it up. You can also use it as a repair stand for your pocket bike. Nah, that's nonsense, you cannot. But it looks like one of those for motorcycles. So this one I would never ever have any use for. So it goes back in here together with this one and together with this one. They all fit in the compartment right here. There you go. And now we get to this one, and this is where you will put your laser. Either on the wall, as I mentioned before, or if you have a pole like this one. And I will get to that in a second, because that's when we get to accessories. But I like this one because it gives you a ton of options for fine-tuning the laser level, either this way or this way, rotating. You can do all sorts of things. So we'll get to that in a second. That's what's in the box. So let's put that away and look at the last one. I think that's it, how it goes, like that. That's in the box. Away with that. Now, let's get to the Cigman CM701. This is the laser. It is very small, but as you will see soon, it can do the exact same thing as the bigger one. It's all cross-line, green laser, 3 directions, and it's just a handy size. And this one is also rechargeable. So I put that there. This one comes with a cable. It comes with a target, just like the one from Huepar. I'm sure they are shopping targets at the same laser target store. Identical, there's an instruction which we also had in the others. This one do not come with a charger, but at least they supplied the cable, and it's a regular USB, so no problem there. This one also comes with a remote control, so we'll get to that in a second. And what else is in the box is a little tripod thing. There you go. I don't know if you can see that, but here it is. So you can put your laser on this one, just like that, and then you can spin it like this if you need to fine-tune the direction this way. However, nothing about the height. It's only if you have a line and you need to, we need to adjust it a little bit over here and a little bit over there, then you can do that with this one. But you cannot really do anything about the height. Since all these three levels are self-leveling, as you can see how they wobble, we don't have to worry whether it's leveled this way, because that's the whole idea with this self-leveling laser, is that it can do that. But with this one, as you can see, we can change the vertical position. I see that being convenient to some. For me, not so much, because when I work with lasers to install kitchens, I have the laser sitting on a pole. I do not have it sitting around otherwise. It's always on a pole. So for this particular one, I have no use, but maybe you do. And then I didn't mention that this one comes with a bracket on which the laser can sit, so you can put it up. It's magnetic, and it has a hole for a screw as well. This one do not go on a pole like this one, unless the pole has the accessory. This one do not go on a pole. This is not for pole mount, this is only for wall mount, either metal or with a magnet or a screw. So not for pole mount. And then you can spend half a day figuring out how it came out of the box. I think it was something like this. Something like this. The remote goes back in, accessories goes back in. Let's look at the functionality and the features of each of these three laser levels. And the thing they all have in common is that they are auto leveling. And that means that when you turn them on, then we just put a light on this one. As you will see, it moves up and down a bit, and it's because it's leveling by itself. You don't have to do anything to create a horizontal line. And that's the whole idea, right? So you just put it up, and it has to be within a few degrees. If it comes outside a few degrees, it will start blinking. And then it tells you that now it's not on auto level anymore. And there could be certain situations where you would like to be in manual mode. Let's say that you want to create a line that is a number of degrees, like this one on my shirt, because you want to, put tiles in that direction, or you want to do something. So you can adjust the level to where you want it and have that line. But it will blink every now and then to tell you that we are not level. And that's fine, but it is in manual mode like that. On the Dewalt, you can turn off and on each of the three dimensions by using these buttons right down here. Now it's in horizontal, see? I can turn that off, and I can put on this one. And I can put on this one. Well, I can put on all three. And then when you slide this one, you turn it off completely. So if you had it on, and you slide here, then it's locked for transportation and it's turned off. That's what you want to do. This Dewalt I bought is using the same battery as my small drill. So I find that convenient that I can charge this one in my other battery charger. And when I put it up for hanging rails, I just leave it on and it sits up there for however long it takes to hang up the rails, and it's really not using a lot of battery, so this one will go on for a day or two, no problem at all. And then we got the little Cigman, the one that was called CM701, and I like it a lot, I have to admit. And first of all, I like that it can be charged with a USB cable. If I can find the opening, it's over here. So you just flip aside this little rubber door and then you charge right there. And it can go on several hours at a full charge. What this one can do, that this one cannot do, is that you can adjust the intensity of the laser light. And let's try to turn it on. We do that by sliding from locked, and then you will see it blinks until. And now by pushing this one, you can change the intensity of the light simply by pushing the power button. They call it 4 gears. So 4 levels. And on this one, you have a button for, just like on the Dewalt, you have a button for each direction. You got the horizontal, you got this one, and the other vertical. Where is it? Vertical, 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 horizontal. When you turn it on and off, and you turn it on, all 3 of them comes on, and I find that a bit annoying. But you cannot change that. So I'm mostly using the horizontal one. So if I would turn this on, I would start by turning off the other 2. Whereas on this one, I turn it on, and then on this one, I would turn it on like this, and then I'll push the horizontal button. On this one, come on automatically. This little one has a also, this is the auto leveling mode. It also have a manual mode. So if you keep it in locked and you press and hold the power button, now it comes on and the light over here is orange. That means it's in manual mode. And that means you can put it any position you like. Let's turn some of all this off. Any position you like. If you want to, just like before, you want to make that line at a certain angle. And then this one will also blink every now and then to let you know that, hey, I'm on and I'm not auto level. Just to let you know. And then you can simply turn it off like that by pressing the power button. Or you can also turn it on like this and back off on this one. So that's a feature that this one do not have. I don't think I need it though. So in my case, it doesn't make a difference. This one comes with a remote, but it has to be turned on before you can use the remote for those. Funny though, that you cannot turn them off completely, because if I say vertical 2, see, on off, vertical 1, on off, and horizontal. It's like we need one light on. So if you take horizontal and turn that off, boom, another one comes on. I'm not sure what the idea is, so you cannot turn it off completely on this one. What happens if I hold it? Nothing. On this one you can change the intensity of the beam again, and you would only do that if you want to save on batteries. This little one will run anything between 6 and 30 hours on a full charge, depending on what level of the laser intensity is. If it's full power, it's running about 6 hours. But I guess it also depends on how many of those you're running at the same time. The instructions do not say anything about that. So I would say that a full day is probably what you can get out of it. Let's turn it off. There you go. Now, the Huepar, what was it now? S04CG. We turn it on in the exact same manner as the other ones on this slider, because then it goes into auto leveling. This one turns on the horizontal only. And if you will notice, this one, yeah, now you're beeping because you're not auto level. I'm sorry about this. This one has two horizontal ones. One at the bottom as well. One at the top, and both at the same time. Now both are on, as you can see. I'm not sure when we need the one at the bottom. Maybe it's when we're all the way down at the floor. And we can turn them on, and then we got the vertical ones. 1, 2, or both of them. And this one also have manual mode. So we can turn it off. Then there's a power button over here where we can push, hold, and then it comes on. And then we can turn on horizontal, vertical, or nothing. But what we can do is we can tilt it, so we can do just like before at any angle and hold it there. And this one will also blink occasionally to tell us that I am in manual mode. This one has one feature the others do not have. Let's turn this off so we don't damage anything. Is that on the display you can see that is showing the right here the position, and that is how level it is. This is instead of a label. So if I put it like this, I can see that it's not totally horizontal, but it is pretty close. So in terms of features, these three can do pretty much the same thing. However, I have to mention this one also has a remote control, which we can turn on. I guess this one has to be in auto level mode. Then you turn the remote on first. There you go, remote is turned on. And now I can change which one I will have on. But horizontal, vertical. And I'm still debating with myself, why do I need a remote? Well, in this case, with this one you need a remote, because this one turns off automatically after 5 minutes, which I find must be truly annoying if you're up on your ladder and you're hanging rails, and after 5 minutes the laser turns off, and that's where you need the remote to turn it back on again, because it's still unlocked, it's still on auto level, so you can turn it on with this one. For that very reason, I don't think this one will fit with my way of working, because I don't want something that turns off. I want to keep it on all the time, and I cannot in the instruction find out if it's possible to turn off the auto turn off. So I don't like that. We can turn off the remote. The remote also has a few buttons that are not in use at all. We don't like that. We like to have all functions built. So there's another thing that this one can do, is that you can connect it to your mobile phone with Bluetooth, and then Huepar has an app where you can go in, and you can do the same on the mobile as you can on this one. But again, I don't see the point of having to pull out your phone and then use that as a remote instead of either this or the unit itself. I would not use that feature, but maybe it's something you would like. It cannot do anything in the app except and turn on and off. So that's about it. So those two has a remote. It's probably telling me that it's still on, so let's turn it off. Those two has a remote. This one do not. These two have manual mode. This one do not. And now these two also have pulse mode. And what is pulse mode? Well, it's something we use if we want to use a receiver with these two. This one do not have the pulse mode, but we can check if it works with the receiver. Anyway, I don't think it will. So the Huepar and the Cigman, they also send me a receiver. And what is a receiver? Well, it's something you use if you need to level something into a certain height, like when I'm adjusting the base level cabinets, because we're moving up and down, and this one will pick up the laser level even if you cannot see it in daylight. And they claim, I don't know if it's true, I never used one before, but what I do know is that I know how it works. So you simply turn it on, and let's turn on this little segment, and then I will show you that you can see over here that this one has a window, target window right there, and some arrows, and now it's turned on. When this one is being hit by the lights in the normal setup, nothing is happening, which is why you have to go to the pulse setup, and you do that by pressing this one. See, now we are in pulse mode. And when we hit the target, we'll have a constant tone. Once again, okay. And if we're below, we have to go up. It's a fast beeping. If we are above, have to go down, it's low. So I can see that being useful when I'm installing a base cabinet. I'm leveling them then by putting this up. And if I'm spinning on a leg, I cannot see perhaps at the back or something. Then I can put this one up and set up my baseline right for the center, and then move it to the next cabinet without looking. I can hear when the cabinets are level. However, it's not magnetic, so I have to glue on a magnet or something here, so I can sit it on top of the cabinets on the metal rail. I think I'll try that. But the only problem is that if I continue to use my Dewalt do not have the pulse mode, so it won't do anything. It needs to be in pulse mode. Otherwise, this one is not beeping. So that was a short-lived idea. I cannot use this with this. The Huepar can do the same. It has a pulse mode. And it doesn't matter whether I use the Huepar or use the Cigman receiver. It will still work exact same way. So it might be convenient for you if you're doing some landscaping outside, and because you can have, it comes with a holder like this, where you can put it on like this, put that on, and then the holder will sit on that post or stick or ruler or whatever it's called. You walk around in your driveway and you line out stuff. Convenient, but for kitchen installation, it can be used if you have one of those that can be pulse mode. If you have the old school like mine here, no pulse mode, no use for the receiver. This is the Huepar, and they're pretty similar. Oh, yeah, we heard you. This one also have one. It has one on 3 sides. Let's test it. Let's just see what happens. There you go. Same. See? This one do not pick up, but it's just an indication that you can see it. Wonder if this one picks up. No, it only picks up on the front, but it's indicating, oh, this one does that too. So they're the same. See, you pick up on the front, then here we go, it shows on the side. So you might need it, I don't. Let's look at the other accessories, the pole and the tripod. One of the most important accessories for me when I'm installing kitchens and I'm using my laser level is a pole. A pole is a very long pole I can put between the floor and the ceiling, on which I can put my laser level, so I can put it at any height I want in the room. And it is important to have one of those because you really need to be able to have your laser line all the way up to the ceiling when you put up the upper rail for the pantry or the wall cabinets. So the one from Dewalt I have here, and it's a bit worn because I used the same pole for so long. And let me show you how it works. And then you might notice that this part is not in the back. And why is that? Well, it's one of the minuses about this Dewalt bag system. See, I broke the zipper. But that's excused because I had it for so long that eventually it will happen. See, I cannot even open it now. There you go. Come on. There you go. And we can take out the parts. There you go. One there. I got another one. And then we have a smaller one. This one. So it comes with 3 of those that are 24-inch, and then you have one, the lower one, the one that sits at the floor, and this one is longer than the other one, and it's because it's telescopic, so you can put it up and you can assemble the whole pole, and you can put it up under the ceiling, and then you can twist it like this and lock it, and then your pole just sits there. And that's great. That's the whole idea. That's how we do. And it has a little, because it's spring. There's a built-in spring there. So when you put it up, there's a bit of tension. And I think that's a great idea. There's a few things you need to be paying attention to, though. You don't want to squeeze this too low so there's too much tension between the ceiling and the floor, because what can happen is that if you put that up next to a screw in the drywall, where the drywall is not fully in contact with those strips of wood, you might pop a screw. You press on the drywall and the screw is going nowhere, so you pop out the screw. And they don't like you when you do that. And I did that once. And there was a little bit of repair to be done. And but it doesn't happen often. You just something you need to be aware of. So I got started just before on why this one is not in the bag, and it's because this bag is great for holding everything together, but it's not protecting the end of this thread that needs to be protected. And that's what happened to me. I must have bumped it, so we got a little burr, and I managed to put it together. But now I cannot take it apart again. It's made from aluminum, and it's clearly seized in there, and there's no point trying harder. I tried really as hard as I can, with no tools, just my hands, and it's not coming off. So I have to keep it like that, and that's a bit annoying, but it's doable. So what you simply do is you put your pole together with a number of sections you need. If you are using it for 8 feet ceiling, then you just need the bottom one, and you need those two, and then you need this one on top. And this one has a rubber top, and that's really nice because then you can put it up against the ceiling without damaging the ceiling. And we put this one on. Yeah, this one is the one where the laser will be sitting, right? We put that on, and finally we put on this, the one with the rubber protection. And now I can put this up against my ceiling. like that over here. See? And like that. And then I can tighten this one. And now let me just pull this one down here. On the top of this one, there is a little label, so you can see when it is sitting relatively vertical, just relatively within the range of what the auto leveling system can handle, and that's probably most likely around 4 degrees. And now I can take this one and I can put it on right here. There you go. And if we want to pivot, we can just do like this. It can also pivot between the laser itself and the laser base. And we've got two options, and we need this one. We need that when the laser is sitting with a nail, right? So that's important. It can do that too. And if you want to move it up and down, there's only one way, is to loosen the screw right here and then move it up and down. And it's doable. Not super convenient. You can do, hold your finger and then do a little bit, but sometimes you have to go back and forth a few times, and that is exactly where the next pole comes in and beats this one. Now, as you remember from before, the Huepar also has an attachment for the laser, which can be used on a pole, and Huepar and Dewalt are using the same sizes. This is the standard sizes as well for those threads, like we have on camera equipment. So nothing, it's all interchangeable. And let me get this out of my face a little bit like that. Like that. Huepar, they also have a pole, and I have it right here. And in this case, I have the pole sitting on a tripod right there at the bottom. And I think I will take this one away so we can look at the Huepar. How about that? Now, the Huepar pole, I like that already because it comes in a bag where each section of the pole has its own little room, so they are divided. And that means that the thread here at the end cannot be bounced around and damaged. So that's a plus. And it even has a little room for a pack of cigarettes, which is not true. But I bet it'll fit right in there. I don't smoke, so I wouldn't know. And then it has a bigger room over here, and I don't know what you want to put in that. I would not put my laser in there because we need to protect that one. Maybe you want to put the accessories in there, but if you have the box for the laser and the accessories, this one, then why would you put it in there? Maybe you can put your lunch, or you can put a towel. So what I don't like about this one is that, let me just take it off. The pole here from Huepar is very similar than the one from Dewalt. It works in the exact same way. It's spring-loaded at the bottom, and there's a bigger pedal on this one you can press down on to pre-charge that spring and get a good tension towards the ceiling. What I don't like is this one. This is the rubber that sits against the ceiling, and I tried it here in my apartment, and as you can see right up there, it left some nasty marks on my white ceilings, and I need to wash them off. If they can come off, I don't know. So for that very reason, I would not use this one, because I cannot come out to a client and then leave skid marks on the ceiling, right? But I'm going to show you what it can do anyway, because maybe you can cover this up with some felt or something. I don't know. Out of the bag, it's no good. But there are some pluses to this pole. that I really, really like. So I will figure out something about this if I should decide to keep it. And here's the thing. It also comes with, I'm holding it up now so you can see it. It comes with a tripod foot. So if you don't want to put it up to the ceiling and put marks on the ceiling, you can actually use the tripod foot. But I don't know if that works really well. I have not tried it. I have set it up, but I don't think it's as sturdy. But if you're working alone and there's no dog or snakes or anything, they can, flip this one over. Why not? Try it out, see if it works. What I do like about it is this one, because this one locks onto the pole just like that with a handle up and down. And you can say, wow, is that really that great? Well, it's not just that. It's this one. This one, if you loosen, let me just show you over here. This one is a little lock. If you loosen that one, you have to lock that one in. If you loosen this one, now you can move this up and down. And that's great if you want to adjust your line exactly on the wall. And Dewalt do not offer that. You remember I have to loosen the clamp and I have to hold a little finger on it and move it up and down. This is great. I like that. This one also has a libel, so you can see, it's pretty vertical. But this feature is great. But wait, because there's more. Because if we use the one that came with this model of the laser, what was it again now? S04CG. It came with this one. If we combine those two with a pole, we are into something really nice. And let me put this one on, because you simply do like that. And I would say, I gotta tell you something before we put this one on. If I just put this one on, like that, and I tighten this screw, I cannot spin this for real if I tighten it hard, right? Because now it's tightened down, so this one has to be a little loose. I guess that'll work well, but not really, because we got some rubber feet right there, and if you want to spin it around like that, no, not working well. So the only way really to spin this without this is to spin it in here. But you cannot do that without jeopardizing the height of the laser level. So we don't want that. What we want is to put on this one, in between. So we'll do it just like, it goes on like that. See, now it sits right there, and then we can take our laser and we can put the laser on right here. I guess I have to spin the laser just like that. Now the laser is in position. So with these green knobs, I now can adjust the laser level in all 3 dimensions. This one over here is a lock. See, you can unlock it. I locked it, unlock, and now I can also move it up and down, just like I did on this one. Yeah, 2 options now. And then you can lock it. And on this one, I can move it in and out. And you can see if I was spinning this one, I can move it this way. And with this one, I can move it this way. And on the other side of it, let me turn it around so we can see. On the other side of it, I can even rotate it. So this base for the level offer a lot of adjustments, and I like that. One just have to figure out if you want to go through the work and drop to put it on, if basically it's for this, because the height and everything else is fairly easy. But this one with the Dewalt, the rotation can be really tricky, because when you shift the whole laser, there's some friction in there, so you kind of, you go from side to side before you hit the target, and it can take a lot. This is easy. So that's the pole from Huepar. So what about the pole from Cigman? Well, they don't have one, so I cannot show it to you. Doesn't exist. What they did have though is they have a tripod, but I'm not even going to show it to you because between you and I wouldn't put a laser on it. It's such a poor quality that I would not put anything of any value on it. It's cheap plastic, and it will be knocked over. And furthermore, it can only go to a certain height. It cannot even get up there where we need it, right? So there's no point bringing it on this video because we have no use for it. No pole from Cigman. Just the Huepar and the Dewalt. Okay, you know what? Realizing when I took this one apart, I wasn't thinking. This room over here, for this one of course. There you go. I like that. I like this. I like this pole, apart from the messy ceiling situation. But that can be fixed. And of course, the cigarette pack holder here is for this one. There. Look at that. Everything is neatly organized. And we can zip it up for the next kitchen. In conclusion, if I did not have a laser level at all, which one of these three would I buy? And I would say, to me, it really doesn't matter because the basic function of these three levels are the same. A few lines, vertical and horizontal, and the unit here by itself, without the post or pole or anything, can do the same thing. I don't use the manual function at all. I only use the auto leveling system, and they can do the same. If I have the Dewalt already with the batteries, I will probably go for a Dewalt that has replaceable batteries or rechargeable batteries. I can only recommend to buy one where you can recharge the batteries. I actually, years back, I bought a Huepar that did not have rechargeable batteries. It was simply AA batteries, and I used a full pack of batteries every day. So that was not great. I got rid of that one and got that one instead. The laser level was phenomenal, but the battery side of things were not very good. This one I like a lot. I like the size of it because all I need is a line. I don't care where it comes from, and since all these three have the same power and they also have the same accuracy, because that's important too. But I'm certain they use some kind of the same leveling system since the accuracy is the same, because it's about 3 millimeters for 10 meters. So if you put this up and it's 10 meters away, you will have plus minus 3 millimeters in accuracy. That's about 1/8 of an inch, a bit more than 1/8 of an inch on 30 foot. And it doesn't get any better in this price range. So which one would I buy? I would, my setup, I would buy this one. Would I replace this one with one of those? I don't think so. I think I'll keep this one. I like the pole from Huepar. I like the pole from Huepar, except from the mess it made on my ceiling. I like the adjustability. So I might going forward use a combination of the pole from this one with this one. Clearly I need a new pole because I'm a bit tired of this section that cannot be taken apart. So So all in all, when I look at all these three, if I didn't have any, if I was installing only one kitchen, I would buy this one. And would I get a post? Would I get a pole for one kitchen? Nah, I probably wouldn't. I would probably take and use this one, and I would hang it on the wall with a bracket with a screw. I think I'll do that because it's only 2 levels. If you have uppers and lowers, it's 2 levels, so you'll have 2 marks in the wall. And that I would do. I would take this one, and I would not buy a pole or anything. But if I was installing kitchen for a living, I would definitely get a pole, no doubt about it. And I might still go with this one or any of those. That's not important. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have not seen the one about how to level base cabinets using a laser, I think you should check it out right there. And if you look there, I have a video how you can use the laser to cut those holes if you have electrical boxes or any outlets sitting inside a cabinet. So check that one as well. You might learn something. Thank you so much.